All right, how's it going, everybody? Hope you're doing well out there. We took a week break. We both went on vacation at different places. I went to Puerto Rico. Jason went to Phoenix.
I was in Phoenix, Arizona.
We both had tropical-ish areas, if you could not tell by my suntan that I have going on. But yeah, so today we have a few big announcements for you guys. We are going to be going over the spring seller update. So before we get into that, say who you are, where you're from, and if you've read the spring seller update yet. I know we're about, a week behind what other people that may have gotten to it.
Right.
But I wanted to give my 2 cents on it, or our 2 cents to it, on it, and really just go over a few things that I think are pretty important. I have some notes right here as well. So, we're gonna get into it. But before that, Jason's gonna talk about the wholesale dropshipping course, and then we'll get into the spring seller update.
Yeah, so guys, actually coming up on the 14th or the 15th, it'll be the 15th at midnight, we are officially releasing our wholesale dropshipping course. It's gonna be eBay wholesale dropshipping. It's the first of its kind. There are no other courses out there like this. And all you guys have to do, if you're interested in this, go ahead and click, there's a link down in the bottom in the description, and it'll take you to the free mini course. Within the free mini course, there is actually a sign-up form, so you guys will be allowed in that. We'll have an exclusive 2-week time frame where you guys will have access before other people. So if you are interested in that, go directly to the free mini course, and that's where you guys can get signed up. It's going to be, I think, 90-something videos. We put in a ton of time making sure that this is going to be the best course out there. And yeah, so if you guys are interested, if you've been trying to get into wholesale dropshipping, diversify your business strategies, anything like that, this course is going to be for you. Tom and I actually collaborate in this course, so I instruct about 65%, 70% of the videos. He does the other 30%. And it's, it's going to be the best course out there. So go ahead and check that out if you're interested.
It's actually over 100 videos I counted yesterday.
Oh, wow. Is it that much?
Yeah.
Wow.
So there's a lot of information in there. So you check out the free mini course down below. Then inside of the free mini course, there's the sign up for it, right?
And before we get going too, guys, go ahead and smash that like button. We got 30 people on watching right now. We see a bunch of people. We got Jameson Griffith in the house, John Arducci from San Diego, Ray from Brooklyn, New York. Oh, we got somebody from Montana in the house.
I said if the coronavirus gets bad, I'm headed to Montana.
We got somebody from Idaho. We got DJ from Idaho. We got some people from Upper Midwest. How's it going, everybody? Vinny's here. Congrats on getting the wholesale course done. Thank you. It was a lot of work for sure.
Yeah, it's been a bunch. And so, yeah, we're going to get into the spring seller update. Before that, I'm going to shamelessly plug my new Instagram, which is also down in the description. I posted an amazing meme on there today. So if you like memes specifically about drop shipping, then this is the page for you. So we're going to get into the course, right, or into the seller update, and I'm going to bring us over here. And I'm going to minimize us, and that's, we got to click camera and desktop, and then I'm going to minimize us.
Here we go.
We're already there. Wow,
Perfect.
wow.
And here we are inside the 2020 spring seller update for eBay. If you guys have not seen that, no worries, because we're going to go over the most important parts for dropshippers like you and me.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's obviously some parts that are important to other people that maybe are doing like what your brother does, shipping coins internationally and things like that. But for us as dropshippers, there were a few big takeaways that are coming out of this. So we're going to get into that. So firstly, there's the updates to how you list. So I'm going to click on Learn More right here. And also let us know in the comments if you've already read it and what you thought about it. And then, we're going to get to those once we're done with this, because I can't read the comments for now. So there's the typical category changes that have always been happening. They've been changing like the inside of the categories. Business industrial has different names and stuff now inside of it, like subcategories. This is not a really big deal. You're going to list your items in best fit categories. Really nothing that different or changed that's happened. There's also the item specifics that are required to on some listings to publish. And I don't know if you guys have been on the live that I did in the past, but it is past March 1st. So, on March 1st, there was a big update with home and garden category, and I forget what the electronics category, I believe. And you needed to update your item specifics for those categories, or else, when they try to relist or get repriced or something, it's not going to work. So if you've been seeing issues with your items, then that's possibly a reason why. So be sure to go back and check a few videos, a few lives ago. That's where we talked about that. You need to make sure your item specifics are up to date on those specific categories.
And eBay gives us a software actually that they endorse that helps us do it in
Yeah,
bulk.
I forget what the name of that one was.
So check that live out. I think it was like back in January we did that.
So now there's one other cool thing where you're in your listings, and then basically this is like a search function inside of your listings to find items that are missing required item specifics. But one thing about that, I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger. One thing about that is it hasn't showed up yet. Where the hell is the zoom button? Am I missing it?
Right there, zoom.
Oh,
there you go.
There it is. There we go. So, you know, there's the new quick filter to find missing item specific. So it looks like this, but it's not there yet. So I don't know when it says it's gonna come. It doesn't really talk about that. So that will be cool because if you have a bunch of missing item specifics, they pretty much just took that tool that they talked about and endorsed and gave everybody it for free until April 1st, and then just put it into eBay. So I feel like they just kind of gypped this tool. And then after that, they talked about a new Terapeak research, which is pretty much like a broke version of Zik.
Zik Analytics,
so, you know, you get it for free if you have a premium store on eBay. I don't think it's worthwhile. I don't think it matters. So
yeah, I honestly think Zik Analytics is definitely going to be your best bet for
there's no
product
other.
niche research, competitor research, anything like that. Terapeak's always been eBay's endorsed program, but we always suggest you guys look into Zik Analytics.
Yeah, so after that, there's updates on how to ship. So this one is actually pretty short, but it does have one of the biggest changes here inside of it, and Jason will go over that after I talk about this, where it's just international shipping overview. Basically, you actually probably know a little bit about that too. Wasn't your brother talking about it with like you're forced to ship through eBay International now or something?
Well,
I have
they're
no idea.
really trying to push their sellers who are selling internationally. Tom and I don't use the global shipping program, and we don't ship internationally anyway, so it doesn't really apply to us. But if you were shipping cross-border, then this is going to actually affect you. What eBay is trying to do is get like standardized rates, and they're trying to make you guys go through what their quote-unquote preferred carriers are. And it might simplify things for them, but it's going to end up probably making you spend a little bit more on shipping internationally than what you were able to do in the past. So I guess if you're doing cross-border arbitrage or selling internationally in any way, shape, or form, this is something that you're going to have to consider. And I guess the customs and duty fees are also like factored into the cost. So to you and I, we don't really have to worry
so I
too
think
much
they're talking
about
about
this.
because the eBay International Standard Delivery covers a lot more countries than just the global shipping program. So you get access to more countries and stuff.
Yeah.
Honestly, we don't really touch upon that. That's why I didn't read it. But
the big part
this is
the multiple locations. So a lot of people out there have been wondering, you know, what eBay is planning on doing with their item location policy, because it was, I think, a couple of months ago where they said, you know, you need to put in one zip code, one ship from address, and then we were like, well, they're not policing it, so we'll just keep putting in multiple locations if you have multiple warehouses. And now they finally stated what their interpretation of it. And right here where Tom has highlighted, it says, if you have multiple warehouses and do not have a unified zip code, you should ignore the notification. Zip code changes you make will show in your listings after they refresh every few hours. So this is addressing exactly what we were talking about. So if your supplier uses multiple fulfillment centers, if they leverage smart logistics where they have one fulfillment center on the West Coast, another on the East Coast, now all we have to do is what they say, ignore this field. I'm probably just going to keep putting in multiple locations.
Well, it says ignore the notification if you left it blank. So basically, which is another weird thing, because like a month and a half ago, some accounts are getting hit with this notification that said, like in your listing, said like 600 or however many listings you had do not have an accurate zip code, even if you put multiple locations in there. And my account never got that, or one of my accounts never got that. The main one never got that, and I was like, that just doesn't make any sense. And then now it's like, if you get that notification, you can ignore it if you use multiple locations, but what happens if you just don't get the notification? And then also, when you ignore it, are you ignoring the notification and still putting multiple locations, or are you putting just one universal zip code?
Yeah, no, I honestly think,
I don't think it matters.
I don't think it matters. I think that is kind of over complicating it or overthinking it. I think what we can take away from this, the key takeaway from reading that, is that eBay says, yeah, you guys can still use suppliers that have multiple fulfillment centers. If you yourself have multiple fulfillment centers, that's okay. Just ignore anything that we've said in the past. We're basically going back on what we were saying in the fall, which is you have to have
the notification there, if you have it there, then just ignore the fact that it's even in here.
Yeah, it's a typical eBay move to go back on what they were saying, and I think we did a good job of, forecasting this policy, by not worrying too much and not saying eBay dropshipping is dead like a lot of other people did. So
one thing that I forgot to mention was I was reading in something on eBay the other day. And you remember the whole buy box rollout thing?
Yeah.
They discontinued it, and they actually said it in one of the developer programs. It's completely discontinued.
Oh,
I was like in the eBay developer code something. I have no idea why I was there, but
so that's completely done with?
Yeah, it's discontinued.
Oh, wow.
I don't know.
They gave up hope on that one.
I have no idea. So then there's updates to how you promote, and really there's nothing special going on here. They keep talking about this offer to new buyers, and another thing that me and Jason were talking about was like, eBay always makes these little, tons of little changes every quarter, where we were talking about how, if you're selling on Amazon, they make, large, meaningful changes. I was like, eBay still doesn't know whether they want you to list your zip code on your listings or not, when, Amazon just came out with Amazon Pill Pack, which is, a plan to literally overthrow the entire pharmacy, every pharmacy company in America. eBay just, I don't know. Now they keep talking about this offers to buyers, and instead of being able to offer up to 10 different offers to 10 different buyers, now you can reach up to 40 buyers with your offers. I've never done offers to buyers. I think I did it once because I left it on my listing by accident and somebody asked for an offer, and it was still profitable, so I did it. But again, it's really nothing I want to be dealing with because it's annoying. It's kind of a pain.
So the way that this works, if I'm correct, is if you have watchers on your items, you can just pretty much press a button and send those watchers a one-time deal, probably like a reduced price of the product, right?
That's on one of these ones here.
Which is different, which is actually different than somebody sending you offers. So there's also best offer, right? And that's set up on the product level where you can say, all right, I will accept, $20 off from the MSRP on this product. So buyers can send you offers if you enable it, but this is to you, for you to send offers to watchers.
Yeah.
It's just another way for eBay pretty much to entice more buying on their platform.
But again, it's really just it's very small.
It's very small. Yeah, I would say it's nothing that's really too important. I would say of all the spring seller updates, I would say that them kind of coming out and saying that the multiple locations is fine, and I'd say that's probably the biggest takeaway, wouldn't you?
This also might be one of the bigger takeaways. So, I mean, that is definitely the biggest takeaway for the safety of what we're doing still. But there's also, so this one does have a decent amount in the section. It says updates to how you service your customers. They talk about the seller help section on eBay, which is somewhere if you scroll up and type help on something, or you click help somewhere.
Yeah, it's literally
here,
at the
help
top
and
where it says help.
I've gone through it multiple times. It's really not that worthwhile. You can manage your returns through it, and some cases, but really everything I wanted to do wasn't even inside of it, so it really wasn't that helpful. But one thing that they do have here is they always try to frame it as if they're helping us, but in reality they're not. So it says right here, marketplace preferred shipping carriers required. So this is definitely what I believe will be the nail in the coffin for anybody attempting to use Amazon onto eBay without taking massive losses at some points in time. So it says that in order to protect you from items not received claims filed through the eBay money back guarantee starting June 1st, 2020, will require you to use shipping carriers that are integrated with eBay. So that doesn't just there's a lot of shipping carriers that are integrated with eBay, but it says and provide regular shipment scans. We also will also publish a list of recommended integrated suppliers that offer track services. So that makes me question, first off, can you only use the shipping carriers that are integrated inside of eBay, or can you only use the ones that are on this list? The way it's worded, you really don't know. It says that we'll also publish a list of recommended ones, and if you click right here, this is the list. The list wasn't even there beforehand. When they launched this, the list was literally not even a real thing. But it's USPS, FedEx, UPS, DHL, on-track, LaserShip. I've never even heard of Speedy Delivery before, or a Lone Star Overnight.
No.
And then these are all international type things, and then there's freight. RL Carriers, never heard of that. Saya, I've heard of YRC Freight, Pilot Freight, Estes Express. It's just ones that if you do sell some big items that go through freight, you've probably heard of at least half of these before.
Dominion,
Great quality control with the Conway Freight and the Conway Freight again. It's quite the list that they have here.
So where this becomes interesting, And what Tom was talking about with Amazon onto eBay is the Blue Care Express,
Because
right?
Blue Care Express is integrated into eBay.
Right, but it's no longer on that list,
not on this
that we
list.
just pulled up. Pull
But
that list up again.
I don't think that list matters as much. This is just recommended, preferred
carriers. So, again, they're not. It's not fully understood what their policy is going to be here. But my guess is they're probably going to reanalyze, like take a look back at what they had as shipping carriers in the past, and they're going to realize that Blue Care Express is not even a real carrier whatsoever, which I really don't even know how they got it into eBay in the first place. But my guess is if they're really taking a look at this and coming up with quote unquote preferred carriers, then they're probably going to get rid of Blue Care Express. If they get rid of Blue Care Express, at that point, all of your Amazon logistics numbers are going to be useless, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to get around the system. At that point, you're going to have a lot of abusive buyers, higher rates of, you're just going to have to take tons of losses. And, Amazon onto eBay already has really, really low margins to begin with. So if you have a 5-10% higher abuse rate, then that's going to cut into your bottom line big time, and you're probably not going to make money at the end of the month. So this is just another reason to stay away from Amazon as a supplier onto eBay. And as we've been saying for a long time, it's just not worth it. You're probably going to get your account flagged, and now they're even doing things like this that could make your tracking completely useless. And last I checked, Amazon logistics was like 30 to 35% of all tracking numbers, and it's increasing year over year because Amazon's trying to become vertically integrated and cut out FedEx, UPS, and USPS as their shipping carriers, obviously, because Amazon wants to dominate everything. But those are things to consider. Amazon logistics might be 50% of all shipments in the future.
Yeah.
So
just a few more little small tidbits before we get into that's about it. You need to be uploading the tracking proof in an items not received case within 3 business days, or they could just close it in the buyer's favor without you even having to do anything. So that's really goes to show that you need to be on. I have my cursor on the wrong screen. You need to be on top of your stuff and really not be like slacking on this. Again, it comes with running an efficient and just like well-oiled machine business. Changes to handling return requests that appear abandoned. So this is a big one because they haven't gotten rid of it yet. They are sticking to their guns on April 1st because I called last night.
Really?
Yeah. So if you give somebody a return label and it says the buyer needs to ship it out by March 4th. I had one of those last night. Last night was March 5th and they didn't ship it out. So I called eBay and I got them to close it out. It says after April 1st, they're no longer going to close the return cases in for you if the seller or if the buyer doesn't send the item at all, which is kind of what Amazon does. Amazon just doesn't really tell you anything. They're just like, all right, give them a return label. They don't give you a date or time that you need to provide it by.
Yeah.
There's been times where I've gone 5 days without providing people return labels. Not that that's good business practice, but and then then it just never goes away. It just never disappears if they don't send it. But then it's like, how long does that return label last? Because most suppliers' return labels only last 30 days and they expire. So I have no idea. But supposedly you can't get it closed out. That's one that I think that they'll probably stick to their guns on. But you might be able to. Maybe you'll be able to.
I think this is another thing. Amazon's just trying. eBay's just trying to be more and more like Amazon and have strict metrics. And really, it's probably going to be the thing that they have to do if they want to stay competitive, because buyers come to expect fast shipping rates, great return policies, all that stuff. The buyers are really have high expectations now because Amazon set the precedent, so eBay has to follow suit, really.
So then, last few things here. For items not as described, return requests, if you don't actually provide them a return label within 3 business days, they could possibly just refund the buyer and just you don't even do anything about it. So again, that's being on top of your stuff. Don't mess up. Changes to handling items not as described. Return requests for international sellers. I didn't read this one because it mentioned international sellers. I have no idea. I didn't read that one. So new protections against buyers you previously blocked. Again, I don't really think that matters. I can't imagine people are blocking too many buyers out there. I've never blocked a buyer. And then updates to how you manage your financials. If you do use the eBay managed payments, they did talk about how global shipping program is now integrated into it, or it will be integrated into it. And that was pretty much all I got from that one too. So Again, that one was with the managed payments. I have yet to move to managed payments. I don't think that many people have. So that's pretty much where we're at with that. So the two biggest takeaways were clearly what? The item location, and then all of the, all the returns and items not received cases and stuff like that. The calling to get the returns removed is kind of a big blow, I think, because that a lot of people don't ship the item back.
Yeah.
And if you give them more and more and more time, then there's a chance that they could. If you have restocking fees, then you'd really like to avoid that by calling in and being on top of it. It's definitely something I've relied on for the past 3 years. So I think that's upsetting, but it's not like the end of the world.
So my takeaway here is that eBay is just pushing the scale more and more in favor of the buyer. And the other key takeaway is this is finally the last nail in the coffin for drop shipping from Amazon Prime onto eBay. That's really my two top key takeaways on that.
Yeah.
So we look like we got a bunch of questions in here, so let's go ahead and get those questions. If you guys liked what you saw there, go ahead and smash that like button.
Please smash that like button. We only got 25 likes right now, 61 people watching. The math isn't adding up right now. Also, I better have some new followers on my Instagram down there when I check my phone. I would be so upset if I don't. I just dropped a fire meme, so... So we got people, did Joe Cox leave eBay? I'm not really sure what Joe's doing at the moment. He's doing a lot of Shopify, I know that, and that's pretty much what I know. Thank you guys for all the knowledge you guys share. What's good, guys? How's it going, Marlon? Vinny's here. Oh yeah, we already got to all that point. Price on the course. Do you want to announce it, Jason?
Yeah, I can go over that. So what it's going to be is, because it's a more premier product, it's a much bigger product than we've ever had any course in the past, is we're going to be pricing it at $997. And if you guys get in on the pre-release, you're going to be getting a 40% discount. So that's going to be anybody who is in that pre-release, which I was talking about in the beginning. You have to go into the free mini course and then sign up. There's a form in there. You'll get access to that.
Or if you're a student.
Or if you're a student of ours, we're going to give you guys a really great benefit of 40% off. So I think that's what we've agreed on.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff inside of this course, and it's not just like one way about going about wholesale. There's like Jason's whole way about going about wholesale, and I literally learned and implemented an entire new kind of just method into it where it's using different software, and it's
a
pretty
bulk
much
method.
It's a bulk method, and it's definitely one that's very lucrative, and you'll see people that are doing very well with it on eBay. So, I pretty much just reverse engineered what they're doing, figured it all out, and made a bunch of videos on it, listed a bunch of items myself, made some sales, saw some success with it, and I'm continuing to grow as we speak with it. And I really do think it's going to be one of the things that is it's going to be kind of like if you want the easier route when you first begin, like when you first begin with our eBay dropshipping, obscure supplier manual eBay dropshipping course, a lot of people start off with Walmart, or we'll start with another supplier that we mentioned inside of the course. That's where I think some people will want to start. And then also Jason has the unlimited methods that you can do after that, or ways that you can go about finding other suppliers and everything else.
Yeah, so there's like multiple roadmaps you can take, and we also give you tons of benefits. I actually have a viability checker. There's tons of bonus. There's a profit margin calculator. It's the best profit margin calculator. It's much more improved than the first one. There's so much extra stuff in there. There's obviously customer service scripts, but I also have call logs and inquiry forms. So all this stuff is templated. You guys will actually see me in real time call up some of these wholesale suppliers. I think that's one of the best value added aspects of this course. I have 3 where I actually call them up on the phone, 20-minute conversations, demonstrating how to speak to them on the phone, demonstrating how to get wholesale agreements, going around the whole marketplace reseller question. There's a lot of stuff in this course. As Tom said, it's over 100 videos, so I think the price is definitely justified.
Yeah, and I did a few calls with eBay as well, and about my account and other things like that. That account actually did get banned within the first 3 days. And then after that, I literally did a special trick that I teach inside of the course, and I got the account 2 billion items and $2 billion listing limit, and then I actually repeated that across 2 other stores. They didn't get quite that high, but right off the bat, they were brand new stores, no listing experience, no selling experience, no feedback, nothing. And then those other 2 stores got up to like 500,000 items and like $400,000, which is a weird amount, but I'm not complaining.
It just goes to show you,
5 and
they were going hard on us with the listing limits on new accounts. Tom demonstrates a hack where you can get a massive increase.
Pretty much unlimited. And I don't know how it works, particularly like how you get 2 billion compared to 500,000. it really doesn't make much sense. I tried like 4 or 5 different times, and I got 4 or 5 different results. So but it did work. So let's move on. So we got Alida from Morocco. Giselle from New York, who was the winner of our giveaway for the Valentine's giveaway. We have yet to have our date yet. Honestly, I'm a little upset, but she said she wanted to go through the course and get some experience before she is ready to go on the date. So, we'll wait for that.
Okay, so Mike D says, hi guys, how do you handle buyer cancellations? Do you only allow...
Oh, sorry, I cut that off, didn't I?
Do you only allow in the first hour, or will you cancel even if item is ordered from supplier but not shipped? I feel it's easier to cancel than return. You want to answer that?
I mean, it's really up to you. It really depends on what supplier you're using, and if you feel the need to cancel it. There's a good chance that they might return it. A lot of times they don't return it. But again, I'd probably go out of my way to cancel it if your supplier is going to cancel it. But if your supplier, you reach out to your supplier first, ask them if they say, we can't cancel it, it's already processing, then you have to say, hey, I can't cancel it, it's already processing. But if they can cancel it, then just cancel it. It's pretty much whatever your supplier says is what you're dictated to be doing at that moment.
Okay, so we got Kiko. Kiko's in the house from Paris. How's it going? We got a lot of people from around the world. Christian's here. He says, so is the basis about finding wholesale suppliers who allow drop shipping? Yes, that is the basis of it. Hence the title, eBay Wholesale Dropshipping.
I think his question meant more like finding wholesale dropshipping specific suppliers, or like wholesalers that if you call up on the phone, they'll also say, yeah, we'll drop ship your items. Because I feel like that's what you do. When you find suppliers that like usually just say wholesale, and then you ask them if they can do order fulfillment for you.
Yeah, I mean, so if we put a lot of, just information in the course, approaching specific suppliers. And one of those types of suppliers is companies that specialize in drop shipping, who also offer wholesale rates or reduced rates of some sort. But something that I've specialized in is actually getting wholesale suppliers to also agree to do fulfillment, or going directly to the manufacturer, because sometimes you can actually get a manufacturer to take care of order fulfillment, aka drop shipping. So the course is definitely very robust, and it shows multiple different avenues that you can take.
Yeah. So we got John here watching from the Philippines. Isn't it a little early there at the moment? Damn, that's dedication.
Our virtual assistants are sleeping right now.
No, except for Jeff. Jeff is probably
he's
up.
Definitely up.
So Saib says, approximately how many times can you cancel orders on eBay per week without facing trouble? I mean, don't cancel orders for out of stock and price increase dropship items. Honestly, this is the big issue. I'm assuming you're using Amazon onto eBay, because this is the big issue that has been coming about. It's just, you need to be making sure that you're on top of your stuff, having your SKU grid or whatever you're using for repricing all the time as quickly as possible, and so that you can avoid mistakes like this. But again, how many times? I don't think that there's a number of times. I think it's probably a percentage that eBay's not going to tell you behind the scenes, although it would be cool if they did. But again, it's kind of you scheming the system anyways, because you're canceling it for the wrong reason. What I would really try to work on doing is seeing if you could message them a message and see if you could get them to request the cancellation. Because then if they request it, if they actually request it, then you are canceling it because the buyer requested it. But if you just send them a message making them think that they need to cancel it because you don't have it in stock, then that might be the workaround. That might be what I've been doing on Amazon for the last year and a half. But again, with drop shipping nowadays, you need to be finding reliable suppliers that aren't changing prices, that aren't changing stock all the time, whether that's the obscure suppliers that I teach inside of the course, that I'm personally using myself, that I don't think I've canceled an item like 2 months, maybe 2.5 months, or just wholesale-based suppliers are usually going to have a more consistent stock.
Yeah. So that one thing too about that, guys, is a lot of people have been asking me, what's the difference between retail dropshipping and wholesale dropshipping? While there is like 5 significant differences, and I go over that in the mini course, one of the biggest is the fact that the items are much more stable. The inventory level from a wholesale supplier is much more stable than with retail, because retailers, they constantly, especially big retailers, think about Walmart, Amazon, Home Depot, they have so many people going through their site buying products all the time. Like, it's constant. And with Amazon, you have third-party merchants too that are also running out of stock, and they don't have the type of money or the buying power to have 5,000 units of a product if they're they're doing Prime, they're doing FBA. So with wholesale dropshipping, these wholesale companies, they have that type of buying power, and they have these items in stock. And I've seen it very rarely where their items are constantly fluctuating in price and stock levels. So.
I mean, them changing price wouldn't really make
The
that much
price,
sense.
yeah, the price barely ever changes. There's a couple of instances where that happens, but it really doesn't change that much, and that's a huge benefit of wholesale dropshipping. But also, the inventory stock levels are much more stable, which I love about it.
And even some of the wholesalers I was talking to, in getting prepared for the course and whatnot, they literally told me, like, if you want good profits or like some good categories to sell on, we're really good for these ones, but we might not be as competitive on things like this. And like they're literally telling you, and they're like, oh, we usually heavily stock these categories, but sometimes in this category we're a little low right now. So it's they want you to be doing this. They're allowing you to be doing it. It's not like you're working around the system here.
Yeah. So Lazy Abrams here
in the
What's
house,
up, man. How's it going? We got Jimmy Coward. He says, I have the item-specific tool in my listings or while listing. I thought it was normal.
Yeah, you're always going to have item specifics in your listings when you're making items.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we misread that, but I don't have what I showed on the seller update. I don't have that on my eBay account. So maybe I have something wrong with my account. But again, it's always weird with these marketplace, eBays, Amazons. Like some people's internal account will look different than somebody else's internal account based off when it was made.
Yeah, we'll have to look into that. So Princess T says, hey guys, Daniel Zemovich says, yo, he's a course student. John Arducci is also a course student. How's it going? He says, I put my zip code and use Blue Care Express for all my items. So far, no problems.
John's like the rare.
I was talking
outlier.
to him today on the Facebook Live, and he says he's still doing pretty well with Amazon. But so far, as you said, so far so good. But let's see what happens. If eBay actually comes and polices that, and well, I don't know what their preferred. They say they're preferred shipping carriers, but what is going to actually? I don't know what that's going to entail in time. That sheet that we saw is preferred, but what are they also going to accept? Right? They might accept Blue Care Express for all I know, but it kind of seems like they're going to reanalyze that and probably take it out. That's just my hunch.
So Benny says, after I sell the first unit, I put the zip code that it shipped from. Sometimes it ships from there again, sometimes it doesn't. That's not the worst idea. That just sounds like a terribly painstaking task, honestly, that I just really wouldn't want to go about doing. That's why I'm just going to keep it multiple locations. So Stephen Kwan says, so how complicated is it to get sales tax exemption for someone living in California as opposed to Florida? I don't even understand that question. It doesn't matter what state you live in, really. It's the same level of difficulty, I would say, across the board.
You don't have like a 1 to 10 scale of difficulty?
I mean, I would say living in California or Florida would be very advantageous, because then you wouldn't have to go ahead and get the extra credentials that you may need if you are trying to get tax exempt to like a place like Walmart, that if you lived in Wyoming, you would have to go and get the sales tax the sales tax ID for California and for Florida. If you lived in one of them, at least you're saving yourself a little bit extra work here. But that's a little bit of an advanced topic.
So Underdog19 says, off topic, okay, but I talked with eBay customer service, and the guy said my account can go back to PayPal jail after months of not listing, but my account meets the full requirements of getting out of it. I did not know that. I've never heard of that before.
I actually did a lot of research into PayPal jail yesterday, because I made like an in-depth video on the course about it. And I know that there's PayPal jail is gonna be 90 days, but literally on eBay's website it explains every single thing about PayPal jail.
Did it say anything about going back into it?
The only thing I really read about it, that going back into it, would be if you went below standard, they could put a rolling reserve on your account. Going below standard and a few other reasons, but I really only paid attention to what you need to get out of PayPal jail. And it's not only just selling for 90 days, you also need to do 25 different transactions. And those 25 different transactions need to add up to $250 in sales, which I would hope that if you sell 25 sales, you would hit $250 in sales.
Yeah, well, here's the thing is I've reignited old eBay accounts before, and I never got put back into PayPal jail.
No.
So I'm not really sure if that's true. Also, be aware what the eBay reps tell you, because they're not always right. And I've seen that happen multiple times where I've called them out on their BS, and they contradict themselves directly, and then all of a sudden, they're singing a different tune. So just be aware of that. They're not always right about what they say.
So Lazy Abram says, is PayPal still keeping fees when you do partial or full refunds? Yeah, it does seem that way. So that is kind of a pain, but it shouldn't be the end of the world, but it's definitely something that you would like to avoid at all points in times.
Yeah, so Christian says, how's getting your Amazon account back going? I'm assuming he's talking to me. Did they take down your listings? Possible they might review your listings and discover your dropshipping. I
think he was talking about me, because I posted that post today on Instagram. I never got my account banned. It was what happened is there was a U.S. government law that went out yesterday or a couple days ago that if you're selling respirators or masks or Purell or anything that has the word coronavirus in it to price gouge people buying these stupid masks that I think they're going to protect them against the coronavirus for extreme prices, then you can't be doing that on the marketplace. They made eBay and Amazon take those listings down, and eBay, being like a semi-rational platform that it is, literally just sent out a message and was like, hey, you guys can't be selling these. We're going to be deactivating listings that are selling these. Amazon, I was selling one that I had listed, a respirator. It has nothing to do with a coronavirus. It's literally something somebody working on a construction site would wear. And these people were buying them for huge profits. I was making 40% margin on every one, selling them for $25 a pop, to $25 profit each, selling them for $68, buying them for $32. But I had no idea why I was selling them for so much until my virtual assistant let me know. And it turned out some other people had hopped off the listings. Maybe they knew something I didn't. But then they said that this listing, was priced too high, so they took me off the listing. And then yesterday they gave me a listing policy violation for this listing when they never sent anything out about it. It's just Amazon being cryptic and not providing you any details when they clearly know what's going on. And then they said that I should expect a phone call within 72 hours. So I don't know when it's gonna happen. I've got my phone strapped to my side on loud and vibrated at all points in times just in case. But for safe measure, I just delisted all my items or put them all to zero stock. Just to make sure that if something terrible does happen, which I don't understand why it would happen, I don't expect it will happen. At least I can try to get as much money out as possible while I wait, because I have I don't know, I think it's 15 or 16 grand in there right now, which I would like to at least try to keep.
Learn from my mistakes in the past. But all right, guys, we got 60 people watching right now. Go ahead and smash that like button. And we're going to keep going through your questions. We got a good amount more, so we're going to catch up here. So Christian says, what's up with Puerto Rico? Seems like one of your favorite spots. That's definitely Tom.
That's correct. I don't know. It's a great island. It's warm.
The people are pretty nice down there.
The people are nice there. You can't complain.
Except when it's a hurricane.
And it's in the U.S., technically, so you don't need a passport to go there. You still use U.S. dollars. It's like a tropical vacation, but you're still, you don't even need a passport.
Yeah, as long as you don't get hit by a hurricane, you're good there.
Yeah, it's great.
So Caesar and Jen Rodriguez says your shirt is tight. Thank you.
That's yours. I haven't hit the gym in a while.
He's saying it's nice. It's flashy. Thank you. I appreciate it. Catherine Cormier, Tom's mom.
Hi, Mom. How's it going?
Hi, Thomas and Jason. I appreciate that, including me. Muhammad XS. I can't say his last name. Says, I want to drop ship in Amazon UK. Could you explain SKU Grid?
Yeah, I'll do it right now. Just go on to SKUGrid.com. I can't explain all of that at the moment. If you go on to SKU Grid, they have so many tutorials on there, and it seems like people just can't find these said tutorials, or just haven't bothered looking for them. They have a YouTube channel that explains everything, and they have tutorials everywhere. And, even inside of the course, I explain it as much as possible, but eventually there's so many things you can do with it that I can only explain the bulk, main things that you need to know, and then if you want to do outlier little things after that, then you need to figure that out on your own.
And just to put this in the scope, right? We have 14 or 15 lessons in the course all about SKU Grid, mastering SKU Grid, getting up and running with SKU Grid. So that's 2 hours of content, maybe an hour and a half of content. We're not going to be able to go on a YouTube live and explain all that stuff. So again, guys, this is your business. It's really up to you to go out there and do the research, watch those tutorials, put in support tickets, find out all this information that you need to know that's very specific to your business and your business needs, what suppliers you're using. does it integrate with your supplier, all the pricing strategies, all of that stuff is going to be things that you're going to be able to find out directly on SKUGrid's website.
Speaking about suppliers, I found one of our students today on eBay. So it's the students that are like absolutely killing it. Usually don't post anything.
You don't hear a
about
peep
it.
from
They don't
them.
ever really talk, and I
Silent
understand
assassins.
why. I've heard from multiple students that when they post their results or their good results, that other students just bombard them with questions that are already inside of the course. But I found one of our students that has like 100 and something listings. And they're doing like 20,000 in sales almost, and like they're using some supplier I had a very hard time finding, and I don't even think they're on SKUGrid. But I found what I think is their supplier, and I'm not gonna rip them off. But I want to say congrats to you.
There's a lot of silent
know
assassins
who you are
out there.
But you found a great supplier. They had listed all those items in like the beginning of February, and they were making a decent amount of sales at like 20% margin from what I was seeing.
Yeah, that's good to hear. So we got Ecom Tomcat. He's in the house. He says, "Good to see you. Good to see your camera is
It was
working."
overheating. We put the AC on.
We have the AC on. I changed around some settings to make sure that it doesn't happen again, so you guys don't have to worry about our camera overheating in the future. Steve Kawan says, "How much have you made doing wholesale dropshipping so far then? I want to see if wholesale dropshipping has some room for good profit." Yes, it has very, very great potential for margins. Most of the margins that I'm getting are between 20 and 30%. Obviously, it's variable, but that's the average. Go ahead and check out my YouTube channel. In one of the episodes, I think it was about a month ago, I talk about the $7,000 customer. I had an eBay customer, and it was a business, but they came back to me 3 or 4 separate occasions and kept purchasing some lab equipment. I made over $1,000 profit from one customer doing wholesale dropshipping. So yes, the profits are there, the margins are high. I've been doing this for 4 years, and there's been times, I was telling Tom about this the other day, when quarter 4, I think it was quarter 4 of 2017, I was selling a specific product, and I've actually come out and told you guys about this product before. I was selling this product. It was a $250 product. I was selling 30 of them a pop, like 30 of them from a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So that's 90 units total. And I was making about $100 profit on each one. So do the math. There's a lot of profit to be made. I've been doing this for a long time, and it's sustainable. I love wholesale dropshipping. It is my go-to model, and I'm encouraging everybody to diversify and start to look into wholesale dropshipping.
Yeah, Jason's definitely been doing it for a lot longer than me. I've been resistant to doing it for a while, just because everything's been working for me well, and I've been getting into it, and I like it so far. It's just, it is a little bit more upfront legwork, especially if you don't have a course where I've already done a lot of the legwork for you. It's just for me, it was relearning a whole new method. But again, it's pretty much the same exact thing. It's just, and it's kind of easier, once you get down to it.
There's a lot more advantages when you really take a step back and look at it and compare, retail versus wholesale. And that's one of the things that I go over right at the beginning of the course is going right out there and giving you guys the distinct advantages for wholesale versus retail.
So Brian M says, is wholesale dropshipping suitable for internationals? As long as you have a U.S.-based business or an EIN number, I believe it's really just an EIN number is all you're going to particularly need.
Yeah.
That's out of the ordinary for anything, because you're going to need to apply, and all of these suppliers will pretty much give you the same application, where it's the multi-jurisdiction form usually with their application needs, whatever they want, or a credit application or anything like that. And then from there, it's whether you have credit cards or anything. So have you ever worked personally with the actual lines of credit? Do you think an international could do something like that, like net 30 terms or something?
I talk about that as, there's like a payment section in the course where I talk about alternative payment types. A lot of wholesale suppliers I use accept PayPal, some of them accept, there's like pay installment apps that they use, and then some even use cryptocurrencies. So that can kind of make you guys avoid any international transaction fees. I know if you have an international credit card, it's usually 3 to 5% transaction fee, which can cut into your bottom line. But honestly, like Tom was saying, wholesale dropshipping, you can absolutely do this as an international. It is 100% feasible, and a lot of them actually do encourage you to apply if you are an international student. I actually think it's easier to do wholesale dropshipping as an international versus doing retail dropshipping.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. So Steve Kwan says again, also, what's the initial capital required for wholesale dropshipping? Do I have to have the same money Do I have to have some money in the bank account? I mean,
Somebody
or your
asked me
credit?
that the
You
other
need
day.
money to start a business, no matter what. You know, and think about 20 years ago, before anybody was selling online, or 30 years ago, for anybody selling online. You couldn't think of just starting a business out of nowhere like you can nowadays. But you still need some money. You need a tangible amount of money in your bank account so that, you know, first off, you can pay for rent, maybe food, maybe if you have kids, you might need to pay for them so they survive. But like, you need some money other than that. Like, I'd say minimum $500. There's software in this course. If you don't want to use software, Jason teaches not how to use it. But again, if you want to use some of the software, it can get anywhere between, like, it really depends on how much you want to spend, but anywhere up in like to the 100 to, you know, as much as you want, like $500 a month in software. It really depends on how many suppliers you have with this one website. But you know, you need some amount of money. It's going to be the same amount of money you would need if you were doing retail arbitrage or, you know, manual eBay dropshipping onto eBay. And if you haven't sold yet, PayPal's going to hold your money. You're going to be in PayPal jail for a bit. You know, so you can't just have nothing. If you have nothing in your bank account, I suggest.
Well, it's either that or you have good credit. If you have good credit, you're fine.
Yeah.
So that's, and I had this question asked to me like 2 days ago, and I said the same thing. There's no difference between this model and retail dropshipping as far as credit or capital requirement. If you have some money in your bank, you know, $500, you're good to go. If you have good credit limits, you're good to go because you put the purchases on your credit card. And if you're stuck in PayPal jail, well, you get your money before you have to pay off your credit card statement. So it's effectively still cash flow positive.
Yeah.
So just think about it in that sense, guys. It's not a big deal. And look at anybody else who's a business owner. You have a brick and mortar store. If you know, there's so many different private label, FBA. You're buying products up front. That costs a lot of money. So this is, at the end of the day, still drop shipping, and we're still always going to be cash flow positive.
And then once you get out of PayPal jail, you really won't need anything. You could technically take the money from PayPal and go buy it on whatever your supplier is from there. But again, credit always helps, because not only is our credit cards awesome because you get into the Centurion Lounge, but also they give you 2% cash back or whatever your percent cash back is. So Daniel Zemlich says, over 100 videos, time to cancel that Netflix subscription. You should have canceled that years ago. It's brain rot. It's terrible for you. It's the downfall of America. Netflix is the worst thing ever. Christian says, with regards to price and stock management, is there an overlap in being able to do it on Amazon, i.e. same software used for product management on eBay also integrates with and works with Amazon? Yeah, it really does. We're not going to talk about Amazon in the course, but
the principles can be applied.
The more I make all these different courses, the more, while I'm making the course, I'm talking about other different things, like, you know, compared to Amazon or compared to retail drop shipping. Yes, the same core principles apply. The same software, if you were to do the part of the course that I'm teaching, applies. And then if you're going to do it manually, I guess that applies no matter what. I don't suggest doing Amazon manually, but
it really does still apply if you're doing Amazon, and even if you're doing Etsy or Shopify, it still applies. We're teaching you a business model, and it just so happens that the business model that we're doing it on is on the platform of eBay. So it's really just take those principles, and if you want to do it on Amazon, you can feel free to do it there.
So DJ says, how do you guys keep track of uploading tracking numbers for your orders? Just go in and upload the ones that haven't been uploaded yet on eBay. I don't know. You could either track them in a spreadsheet if you wanted to, or just realize eBay tells you this item needs to be shipped out within 24 hours. It's going to tell you that, and then you just go, all right, click on those ones and upload it. Or just hire a virtual assistant.
Or hire a virtual assistant.
They seem to upload themselves at that point.
Yeah. So Christian says, feel free to skip this one. Oh, God.
Skip it. No, just kidding.
Hey, Jason, with your Amazon Stealth account, did you borrow somebody's identity? I'm going to skip that one.
That was a homeless person, wasn't it?
Yeah, we'll call it a homeless person.
All right, so we got 12 minutes left here. We got 65 people watching right now. I hope you're enjoying this. We're trying to keep it lighthearted here. And if you haven't already, please smash that like button. We'll get it out to as many people as possible. There is some decently large updates in this spring seller update, I would say. Nothing earth-shattering, but I would say things that at least reassure what we've been doing and what we're going to continue doing for at least until the summer update. And, you know, other changes that I think weren't the best, but, you know, I hope that they weren't earth-shattering. So.
Yeah, but it's definitely things that you guys want to be aware of and cognizant of, and make sure that you're in compliance with all of eBay's terms and policies, and kind of take a step back and see where they're heading with this, because that's what I always do when I read these policy updates. They come out every 4 times a year, every quarter, and you can kind of see the direction they're steering. And sometimes they go back on their words and they steer a different way. But it really helps us get a gauge of what we should be doing and kind of have that directional flow. So Princess T says, hey, this is Tiana. I commented on your Instagram story today about the new wholesale dropshipping course. I'm really excited for it to launch. That's awesome. Make sure you go ahead and click the link down in the description after this video, and that will bring you to the wholesale mini course if you haven't signed up for it. And that's where you can get into the pre-registration so that you'll be 14 days, 2 weeks ahead of everybody else. So you'll get a little bit of a competitive edge on watching that before everybody else.
Thank you, Tiana. Also, when that account hits 100,000, you can know 100,000 followers. You'll know that you'll be in the first 100 or so followers of that account. So just consider yourself blessed. Wise Boy says, do we have to contact suppliers to be able to dropship their products? It's a big, scary question. Yes. You're most likely going to have to contact some of them. The ones that I contacted, I'll say what I did, and then you can say what you usually do. I contact a lot of them from the main software that I talk about inside of the course, my portion of it, and I only had to call one of them, I think, afterwards, but it was after I was already accepted.
You talked to him on the phone?
I did. It was scary.
You spoke to a person?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
It was wild.
All right.
I have to speak to Amazon, too, in 72 hours. Who knows?
You might have to take an Ativan before that call.
Oh, it didn't happen yet.
Yeah, so yeah, guys, you're gonna have to call and talk to some people on the phone. This is part of running a business, is talking to somebody on the phone. You know, there is ways of just doing inquiries through email and whatever, and I do teach, you know, how to do that, and sometimes there's an advantage to having a paper trail and stuff, but I always suggest to get on the phone, because what's going to happen is you're going to increase your likelihood of getting accepted by these wholesale suppliers, and that's what we're trying to do here. We don't want to waste our time waste our time just sending out mass emails. It's probably not going to work that well. We want to
you
talk
even bullied
to them
someone into letting you sell on eBay,
I wouldn't
right?
say bullying. I would say
bullying.
I compelled them to by using respectable language. I spoke their language, business talk. So you guys will see that in the course. I have that full recording, and I think that one's a gem, to be honest.
Do you think a wholesale for N95 mask for $7, minimum quantity 1,000? Honestly, I literally just said you're not allowed to sell those masks on eBay or Amazon anymore. No, you can't sell them on eBay or Amazon. They're literally taking down.
It's like a government mandate.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure the government actually came down on Amazon and eBay, and they said, you guys, we can't be having you sell these on your website because our healthcare professionals, our doctors, our hospitals, they can't get their hands on them, and the price is going through the roof. So just get them off your website. We'll bring down the demand of them on the internet.
Oh my God, we have a lot more comments left. We gotta go through these.
Yeah.
So Wise Boy said, instead of like for AliExpress, for example, do we have to contact the supplier? We don't do AliExpress, and again, I don't think you really need to contact the supplier.
Let's be honest, AliExpress is not going to be a great business model in 2020. It really is on eBay, in my opinion. And I've said this time and time again, the quality control is not there. The product quality is terrible. You're gonna have higher rates of return. The shipping and handling time is generally a lot higher, so you have to wait. Your customer might have to wait 20 days, 30 days. I don't wanna be doing that. You're gonna end up having a much worse customer experience and eventually higher final value fees. Just not worth it, guys. Stay away from AliExpress. That's my 2 cents on that one.
So we got Steven here from Washington. I'd watch out there. I haven't heard good things. With the coronavirus going on. We got Tanko here from Mexico. How's it going? How do you think that the coronavirus will affect dropshipping? Honestly, I have no idea at the moment. Jason and I still don't think it's anything crazy that serious. In the United States, there's been 16,000 people this year that have died of the flu, and there's been like 12 people die of the coronavirus. So I really just think it's the media blowing out of proportion, people getting scared. I was in Costco today. It was a madhouse. I was in a swarm of human beings just trying to get to the pharmacy.
They're all buying bleach or something.
Yeah, they were bleaching themselves. They literally had somebody outside washing every single carriage before somebody grabbed it. They said, please stop. I'm sanitizing the handles. And they sanitized every single one. I should have called it a cart or a shopping cart. The carriage.
The coronavirus has a mortality rate of like 1%.
Yeah.
And of that 1%, most of them are really old people in elderly, like old folks' homes and babies or something.
Honestly, I may have had it this week.
Immunocompromised people anyway. Just focus on the things that you can control in your business, guys. That's really what you have to do here. If the economy comes crashing down, there's nothing that we can control. None of us. You guys watching,
No
us
amount of
watching,
selling
we can't do
N95
anything.
masks will
It's not
save
going to
you.
do anything. So
Tanko says, how about ArborShip software for auto order? Yeah, maybe in 2018. Definitely no. It's definitely not a good software. I take it we'll be able to take the material in the wholesale course, and if we're savvy enough using material, the wholesale dropship on Amazon.
Yep.
I would hope so.
Definitely.
I'm not 100% back on eBay yet. Belk. Hi, dear. My account has been suspended on eBay. That's unfortunate. My account has been suspended on eBay, and they tell me to change platforms. I don't know. What did you do wrong? He says it like 3 times. Hey, Jason, did you really get poked by a cactus in Arizona? Did you actually get poked by a cactus?
Yeah, I did. I thought I could touch it. That was a bad idea.
He's a big cactus guy. Hey, just got this about managed payments from eBay. eBay intends to manage payments for more sellers in more markets in the near future. That literally sounds like a typical eBay or Amazon message that you'll get from anything.
Yeah.
Sup, guys? I'm a UK citizen currently living in the Philippines. Been running my eBay UK dropshipping account for a while now. Appreciate the content you keep dropping on this channel. Has helped a lot. Awesome, man. And you see, I don't even think he has the course, and you got success just from the channel alone, the free channel. So that means that you're out there and you're a go-getter. Like, there's enough information on this YouTube channel to be able to figure out a lot of this on your own.
Yeah.
If you, with what Christian has, if you are savvy enough with eBay dropshipping, there's no doubt that you could take this and move on to Amazon dropshipping. Again, like, it's how savvy are you? How willing are you to really
put the time
in?
So Yoda, like the Star Wars guy, says, hey, I was working from home and my campaign closed this Monday. I've been preparing myself to transition to dropshipping full-time. I began making sales last week after a month-long practicing with Zik and Skew, probably Zik and SkewGrid. And he goes on to say, I know I have 15 listings. My limit was increased to 200. I'm looking to make $700 to $1,000 a month in profits. Is this possible on the first month? What do you suggest the first month to transition full-time? So is it possible to make $700 to $1,000?
Full time? Can you live off $700? I don't think
I could.
I couldn't.
But can it be done? Yes, absolutely. One thing I would say is that eBay is getting a little bit more strict about growing accounts too fast. So, I would stick to a reasonable amount, which it seems like you have a reasonable amount of listings. And, don't scale your store too quick because you want to be in this for the long run. Think about your future self, which is 6 months, 12 months, 18 months down the road. Think about the money that you could be making then. You want to get your just some traction and get proof of concept for now as a beginner and learn the ropes. And then you'll thank yourself in the future. That's my opinion.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know what your campaign closing means or if that means something to do with your job. But
yeah, I think so.
If this is like something forced upon you, I know it might seem like a dire situation, but don't try to stretch your limits on your eBay account and try to grow it as fast as possible. First off, 15 listings is not that many. You can definitely list more. But like if you try to get the most out of it in the first month because you're desperate for it to work, then there's a higher chance that your account's going to get MC011 or shut down because of it.
Bite you in the ass.
Honestly, like you could just go on a Facebook Marketplace and find free things, or go on a Craigslist and sell it on Facebook Marketplace. Like people don't really. Nobody does that. Like my mom literally gets free furniture off Craigslist, paints it, and sells it for like $500 to rich people in rich neighborhoods. So you can do that, and you'll probably make a lot more than that doing something like that off the bat, with less risk.
Yeah, so Colonel Montalvo says Puerto Rico here.
There you go.
We got some people from Puerto Rico. Ecom Tomcat says move there and take advantage of Act 2022. We actually looked into that. That's the tax saving thing. They're making it a lot more work. You have to donate money. You have to have an employee, all this stuff. So I don't see myself doing that anytime soon. Where were we?
Did you add SkewGrid to the Amazon dropshipping course? Not yet, honestly. It's on the list of things to do, but it's basically everything that Web Scraper app is, except a few more. There's more suppliers. It's a lot easier to set up than eBay, but I can add it in eventually. It's just that it's not on the top of the priority list. but it might happen.
So we got people telling us where they're from. We got somebody from Tenino, Washington.
Come to Morocco, we need you here.
I will not be going to Morocco anytime soon. I don't know about you.
It's not my number one
Wholesale is
destination.
Greg Endham says, wholesale is the way to go. Thanks for the course. You bet, man. Greg has actually been a long-time student of ours. Good to see you here. Nick Gurr says, what's your relationship with Jason? Are you guys together?
Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
No answer. I'm not answering that.
We're together.
That is appalling. Keep going.
You're dating. Me and Giselle are going to have a weird date later on. Drop shipping visuals, LOL, at his comment. Have you tried Doba? Don't try them.
Doba's no good.
Do your VA reconcile your SKU grid with the marketplaces you sell in? What is reconcile? I mean, making sure that my SKU grid has the same items as my eBay and stuff like that. Yeah,
I think that's what they mean.
They do go through that. Sometimes I do it. It doesn't always take that long.
So
where are we?
Yeah, Monthea says, which software do you use to monitor your wholesale suppliers, and does it connect to eBay's API? If it connects to eBay's API, won't that cause a problem with your eBay account?
It won't cause a problem.
So yes, we do talk about a wholesale software in the course. I'm not going to announce it on here. Obviously, that's a big selling point of the course, but it does use API, and I've been using this program for over a year now, direct API integration, no issues whatsoever, and this goes back to what Tom and I have talked about for so long, which is an account flag is based on multiple parameters. It's not just, eBay API, you're using eBay API to do repricing or restocking, that's going to get, no. It's a multitude of factors. That's how algorithms work. They take into account multiple variables, and then they'll probably get reviewed by a person
repricing
and then flag
based
you.
on retail suppliers. Like, they can tell that you're repricing items, and they can go and tell that your items are from Walmart or Amazon or Home Depot if you're using an API-based repricer, and then that's not allowed. It clearly says it. But it says you cannot use the API to reprice or purchase items through using the API from other retailers
or marketplaces,
or marketplaces,
and Walmart and Amazon. So we're not even breaking the terms of service with the API, the API terms of service. So we're not doing anything wrong. So there is no reason for our account to get a flag. And on top of that, I am walking proof that I've been doing this for over a year using this software, and I've had no problems with direct API integration. So get that out of your head. That's a misconception. And again, just saying that API integration is going to get your account flagged, that's an umbrella term. We might have kind of made that. We kind of made that seem that just to simplify it last year, but it's not just one thing, guys. It's multiple things. That's how algorithms work.
I'd really just say, as long as you're not using any API-based repricer that's, like AutoDS's API or DSM Tool, I don't even think has a non-API tool. They still want to contact us every other week and ask if we want to move over to DSM Tool. SaleFreaks does have non-API, but if you use their old API-based things, use any of those, or Amazon, then you just don't do it. I don't think you should be using Amazon. John Arducci seems to think otherwise, but he's doing it non-API anyway.
So dropshipping visual says, how come so many eBay sellers violate MAP policies or MAP terms? And I addressed that as well in the course. I talk all about MAP pricing and MSRP, the relationships of pricing, keystone pricing. I talk all about that. The reason for it is because they are, they're greedy. That's what it comes down to. It comes down to human greed. Tom's a great example. He's definitely somebody who would go and violate the MAP policy. But you have to also say, what's the risk of violating the MAP policy? Well, the risk is that your wholesale distributor or manufacturer can just cut you off and say, we don't want to do business with you. It might be worth it, because by the time they catch you, that could be 2 years later, or it might be never. So I talk all about that, weighing out the risk versus reward scenarios for MAP and actually staying in compliance with MAP.
My throat's going to give out.
So Amir says, hi guys, any suggestions for accounting software for eBay? I would just say to look at QuickBooks. I like QuickBooks. Let's keep going here. Latravius McKay says, do you need to collect sales tax for wholesale? Tom can answer that.
It doesn't matter what you're doing, wholesale, not wholesale, selling items from a garage. if you need to collect sales tax, you need to collect sales tax. It's based on a multitude of factors that I'm not going to get into right now because I've already made like 5 videos on it today, and we talk about it all the time. But again, it doesn't matter what method you're doing. If you need to collect sales tax, you need to collect it.
So Christian says, dope. In a sense, it's also wholesale dropshipping on Amazon. Yes, you're correct. Ecom Tomcat says, go smash that
Smash
button.
that like button. We're over the hour point
Show
right
some
now,
love.
and we're staying after for you guys. It's like a teacher staying after school to help some kids with their homework, you know? Does Amazon flag you the same? No, Amazon is not stupid like eBay is. They don't flag you. They don't care if you upload. I've already read it. He commented it on another YouTube video earlier today or yesterday. No, they don't care. They just upload CSV files. Just make sure that you don't bend yourself over by listing the wrong brands or something like that.
So Joshua says, thank you guys, very helpful, awesome. Glad to help you guys out. Stephen Webster says, I signed up for your course.
Awesome,
well,
Stephen.
I hope you signed up for the mini course because the main wholesale dropshipping course is not out yet,
Yeah,
so you might have signed up
honestly.
for something else. But like the enthusiasm. Callie Picker says, hola amigos, with the smiley face emoji. Good to see you here. Stephen Webster says, have you talked to Doba?
Yeah, we're not talking to Doba.
Yeah,
Doba's
Doba
stupid.
is bad. I think they're an aggregator. They're garbage. They're trash.
I
Stay
literally
away
saw
from
they
them.
were talking about ORS. I was looking at ORS NASCO, and literally as a brand, Doba's selling all of these other branded items and is saying the brand is ORS NASCO when it's not. It's like literally they just are taking all these other wholesalers and throwing them into their website and going, yeah, we're Doba.
I don't know how Doba got so popular. I honestly don't. You have to pay for a
Good branding.
subscription
Good branding.
to Doba, and what are you getting as far as value goes?
Nothing. You're getting
You're really not
terribly
getting
expensive
anything.
items. Here, answer this question.
Okay,
please.
so Latravius McKay says, do you have scripts for calling suppliers? Yes, I do. I have email scripts, but I also have phone scripts, and I break it down, I show you exactly the logic, the rationale behind it, and I even show it in action. So I have 3 recordings, about 20 minutes each, 15, 20 minutes each, of me talking to wholesale suppliers on the phone and going directly off of the script, and you guys can see it in real action. I think that's a huge, huge value offer in the course, to be honest with you.
So Monthea says, I'm an international person selling on eBay and I already have my EIN number, awaiting my EIN confirmation letter, but it takes about 2 months before I can receive it. Wholesale shipping, she used her word. Whole shipping when received. There you go. So she's getting into it. Another international, I remember she was on a live not too long ago and she said you don't even need to have an ITIN number. You can get an EIN number as international. Well, these other international people comment on the lives all the time about how they can't get the EIN number.
Yeah, limiting.
Monthea is literally proof.
Yeah, so John Arducci says also those masks don't work and they were price
I was 100%
gouging.
price gouging. I was definitely doing that.
Yeah.
I will sell the mask in the Middle East. Go for it, man. People will stay home because of the virus and order more stuff online. Great for dropshipping. That's true. Flu is deadlier than coronavirus. Already mentioned. Hey, you got some good news. VA finally said I am authorized 100 days of nursing facility care after my hospital stay, so now I can focus on healing. Awesome. I'm not really sure what that's in.
I think they're trying to say they have a lot of time to drop ship.
Yeah, that's very true. Any examples of some good suppliers? I have YouTube videos about it. Thanks, you guys, and guys, thanks for all the replies. Can you do drop shipping from Amazon to eBay? But please don't. Hey, there's one God, and his name is Jesus Christ, and he can restore your life according to Acts 2:39. What the hell is that? Is that
It's
the
like a
time?
Bible verse.
Oh, that's a Bible. Have you read that one?
No, I've
Mason?
never read that
You never
one.
read that one at
But
Bible school?
thank you. We appreciate the nice words. I think
I really like that.
We'll
I'm
read
gonna
that.
go
We'll read that verse
2:39
afterwards.
tonight for bed.
Cody Justin says, do you think retail dropshipping is now too saturated?
No.
You know, it depends on what supplier you're using, but as a whole business model, no. Of course, it's not too saturated. We have tons of obscure
Cody
suppliers
just capitalized
who
pasted it 3 times.
we have tons of obscure suppliers that are still very, very viable. So no, it is not oversaturated. It just depends on what suppliers you're using. So Latravius McKay says, how do you avoid eBay suspension? I mean,
Do as you've said on all the lives you've been on for like the last year.
Sell good products. Make sure you're not keyword spamming or selling the wrong items. You know, make sure you're not selling Vero items. Keep your metrics up. Customer service is always good. All those, these are good common practices. I think, Latravius, at this point, you should probably know some of those.
Yeah. Christian says, hey, Cody, shut up. I agree. Just kidding. eBay yanked my mask and sanitizer listings again. Yeah, yep. Thank you for the feedback, guys. I've listened to you in the past. vids about not scaling too fast. There you go. eBay to eBay or Amazon to eBay? Neither. Definitely not advised either way.
Trick question there.
You can survive off $700 to $1,000. I reside in Costa Rica. Oh, okay, yeah, I guess that makes more sense. So yeah, if you're making $700 to $1,000 in your first month, with 15 listings, you're not gonna be able to do it. That is just going back to the 15 listings question. If you list more items, I think you'll be able to do it. Tom, please tell me some causes of product views decreasing. You've probably flagged. That's probably the #1 cause. Yeah. Does repricing the product manually, sometimes 2 a day, affect products ranking in search? No. As long as you're doing it by hand, I guess. I sold 5 items during this video. There you go, John. You're killing it. You're killing it over there, guy. Thanks again, professors. You guys are awesome. All right, one last question. Which part of my body should I donate to pay for the... Definitely your liver. Oh, wait, no, you don't. No, you have 1 liver or 2 livers? Kidneys? You have 2 kidneys. Give one of those or something like that.
Was that a real question?
Dude, I don't know. I didn't take anatomy class.
No, I'm saying, like, who asked that question?
Yeah, right here. That? Oh, you think I make these questions up? I don't make questions up.
Oh, my God. Latrevius Vacases, what is a MAP agreement? MAP agreement stands for minimum advertised pricing. Do a small Google search. You'll find out all about that. It's pretty in-depth, actually.
How does it feel to know you're changing someone's financial futures, which incents their lives? Well, hopefully it's for the positive. You know, it feels pretty damn good. And the students that take action, I mean, there's so many students out there that see, I made a meme about it today. Remember the meme? This is like, people just see these shiny courses and buy it. And honestly, students like that, you know, they're all over the place. And it's unfortunate, but I can see why it happens. But the students that actually go out there and kill it and see success, although a lot of them don't like to talk about it, and I find their accounts all over the place on eBay, and they never mention it inside of the private group, and it upsets me. It's awesome to know that we're actually helping them out and, you know, lining their pockets with maybe $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month.
Yeah,
and that's really the whole point of this.
It does feel good. It really does.
It does.
But guys, as Tom was saying, we can see exactly how much progression.
I saw that somebody bought the course in July and never opened it.
We can see the progression inside of our courses of how much you've watched, and there's a lot of people out there that don't even watch the first video. You sign up, and that's it. You gave up.
Don't be that person.
Don't be that person.
I don't want your money if you're going to be that person.
You got to put in the work. You got to be persistent. You actually have to learn. It'd be like going to take, you know, a college exam and you never even went to any of the lectures. You're probably not going to pass. Although I did know one guy in college who somehow passed, but it's not usually going to work. You're gonna have to put in some work. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. So Trey Buck says, "Hey guys, new students here. How's it going?
There you go. You've been on a lot of lives. You're finally a student. There we go.
Let's see. Anything else here?
When is the release date for the new course? You want to mention it one more time?
Yes. So the course will be released on at midnight, 14th into the 15th of March, and that's going to be the release date. So if you guys are part of the pre-release, you have to sign up for the pre-release. But if you're part of that pre-release, you will get 14-day early bird access, plus 40% discount off the course. So that's kind of our way of saying thank you to our existing students and people who are proactive, who want to learn this business model and are going to put themselves out there and learn it like we said. So all you have to do is click the link down below. It'll bring you to the mini course, the free mini course. And within the free mini course, there is a section where you can just put in your name and email, and we will give you guys email, just a bunch of emails in the next week, and we'll be notifying you exactly when the release date is, plus the link. So it'll be kind of like a exclusive link. We'll keep it on the down low, but you guys will have access to that. So be on the lookout if you are part of that.
Yeah. So Cody, Justin, you're on your last strike here. If you keep copying and pasting your questions nonstop, you're not getting answered. Do you need a business license plus LLC/S Corp to be accepted by a wholesale supplier? You need an EIN number, whether you're going to... You most likely need an EIN number. Can you do it as a sole proprietor?
Yes, of course. You can be a sole proprietorship. You could be an LLC. You could be a C Corp, S Corp. It doesn't matter.
Well, sole proprietorship, you don't get. Yeah, you can get an EIN number.
You still get an EIN number if you're a sole proprietorship.
I've never done it that way. All right,
you could still do it. I would never have a sole proprietorship because you have.
I think it's poor.
You have no
poor idea.
Yeah, all the liabilities on you. If somebody wants to sue you for anything, you can get sued and they could take your personal assets. That's why I say never to use a. But again, I'm not a tax professional. I'm not an attorney. So disclaimer, right? I can only tell you what I do. I'm a single member LLC with S Corp status. So do what you want with it. That's my 2 cents.
All right, so we got the last few questions here. Is there a tool to help me easily find already listed Vero items on my store? Honestly, I don't know. I've never really gone through trying to do something like that. I just try to prevent it from the beginning. But I do understand that could be a tool out there. Maybe search for it. Let me know, honestly. Thank you guys for another awesome live. Thank you very much, Princess T. Tom, your official Facebook page. Check out my Instagram down below. It's brand new. Give it a follow, and I'll message you back there. So is the $9 a month subscription not the course? No, it is not. That's part of our group coaching where we do exclusive lives once per month for students and non-students. So that's what that is. Vinny says, put in the work. Very true. Thank you, Vinny. And will there be any monthly payments for the course? No. We're done with monthly payments as of like 2 years ago. It's a very abused thing that happens, and it leads to so many issues. Like if you give everybody the course in full for monthly payments, then they charge you back after the first month. Or if you only give them one third at a time and do 3 monthly payments, then they yell at you and they go, well, I only wanted the second third of the course, and then it's just not worth it.
But Zick Analytics shows Vero products.
Not
yeah.
listed to your store.
So, all right, so thank you guys. We're gonna end it there because the questions just keep coming in. But thank you guys. The last 54 of you guys who are still watching.
I must have pissed Cody just enough because we have a downvote. I'm sorry, Cody. I apologize.
Go ahead and smash that like button one more time. And again, announcement. The link down in the description is for the Wholesale Dropshipping Mini Course. Within the Wholesale Dropshipping Mini Course, you can find a form where you can get into the pre-release where you'll be in the Wholesale Dropshipping course 14 days before everybody else and 40% off. So
very true. So please smash that like button. Instagram down below, Wholesale Dropshipping Course. Sign up. Thank you very much. Don't get too rowdy this weekend. Have a great one. And thank